Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your FA Cup final preview. It's so good that we are back in a final, especially after last season where we lost to Arsenal. We're in a final again. This season we're in two finals, so it gets better, but it's a big chance for Chelsea to get some silverware. The first in 2 years. It's been 2 years since we lifted a trophy. For Chelsea, that's unheard of. Normally it's every season. Well, what's going on? Anyway, before we get into the preview, I want to let you guys know today's video is brought to you and sponsored by the OneFootball app. Make sure you hit that download link in the description for you to get all of your team news, player news, statistics, videos, content, all sorts that you need to know in relation to football as a whole or your specific club. You'll find it in the OneFootball app. So make sure you hit the download link in the description. You download the OneFootball app and enjoy. Now, let's get into this. Chelsea versus Leicester. Fair play to Leicester. They've had a banging season. A very, very, very good season. And they've gone under the radar, I'd say, for the first half of the season because many were expecting Leicester to just fall off. Especially in the top four, cup competitions. People thought, yeah, maybe a semi-final, maybe they'd reach top four, but then they'll fall out and they won't get anything. Well, here they are, still in the top four and in an FA Cup final. So honestly, fair play to Leicester City, first and foremost. I think their project, what they're doing, their players, Brendan Rodgers, everything is just working like a well-oiled machine at Leicester. So credit to them and the way that they're doing things at the moment. But so are Chelsea, despite that loss that we just experienced that I shall not mention. What loss? Don't know what you're talking about. Did we play? Don't know. But anyway, this final at Wembley is going to be huge. Well, there's two reasons. First reason is Chelsea fans will be there. The first game that Thomas Tuchel will be able to coach where there will be Chelsea fans, and it's the FA Cup final. This could do so much for our confidence. It could do so much for the team, for him, for the fans, for everyone to win the FA Cup in front of fans. Now, I think there's 25,000 fans that are going to be present. I'm not sure in terms of the ticket allocation, but there's going to be quite a few thousand Chelsea fans and quite a few thousand Leicester supporters. So, honestly, for everyone going to the FA Cup final, please make some noise and come up with a song. Come up with a song. I'm waiting for a song. I want to hear a Thomas Tuchel chant. We got to make it happen at this rate. It just needs to happen. The guy he's working miracles. Absolute miracles at Chelsea. So please, lads, anyone that's going to the game, create a song and make it good. Yeah, make it original. Lovely jubbly. But yeah, honestly, this is going to be huge. And the other reason is we're going to be seeing Chelsea play in our new home kit for next season. So yes, we'll be able to see it in the flesh and we'll be able to have a real proper judgment on how it looks on the players. Now, weirdly enough, if you remember 2018-19 where we wore the bus seat, you remember the bus seat? Yeah, when they unveiled that, it looked atrocious. It looked horrendous. I mean, I'm still not a fan of it, personally. It looked bad, even though I understand what they were trying to do. This one, I don't know what they're trying to do. Yeah, back then, you had, designs of Stamford Bridge, and I could get it. I get it. But this one, I don't get it. Racing flag, zigzags. On the back, same story. I don't understand. We're going to see it in the flesh, and the players wearing it, so we can get a real good judgment. So keep your eye on that one. We'll see how the new kit looks. And then we can really decide if we hate it or not. But this game is huge. Now, in terms of team news, we have some good news. Mateo Kovacic is back. He's back, he's ready, he's fit. That's good to hear. Welcome back, Mateo Kovacic. Just in time, because it's about to get serious now. We've got Leicester in the FA Cup final. We have Leicester on Tuesday. So tomorrow, Saturday, we've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Play them again. Right? And then we've got Aston Villa. And then the Premier League is done. Season over. Finished. After that, in just around 2 weeks' time from now, we have the Champions League final, and that will be it. So, 4 games to go in our season. Mateo Kovacic coming back now is huge. It's a fantastic, fantastic piece of news, and we needed it. So, good to have him back. Andreas Christensen is still out, so he won't feature in this one, but I think he'll be back very, very soon in regards to maybe Tuesday. If not, definitely Aston Villa. So, we'll see what happens in regards to him. N'Golo Kante is fit. So a few of you were worried. A few of you were on social media, on my channel as well, just going, oh, N'Golo Kante. I hope he's not injured. He's not. He's fine. He trained. He's all good. It was pain management, as Thomas Tuchel confirmed in the press conference earlier today, and he should be good to go. He'll be starting as well. We've got confirmation of 2 players that will be starting tomorrow's game. Kepa will be starting the game because he's the FA Cup goalkeeper. He got us to this final, so he plays the final. And N'Golo Kante, as Thomas Tuchel just declared that he is fit and he will be starting the game. So, if we now go to the starting 11, who should play? Bearing in mind the Arsenal game, I shall not mention that again. I know I told you I wasn't going to mention it, but I have to in regards to team news because that was our last game. But in terms of that game, it's imperative that we look at some of the players that played and we just don't carry it over into the final. There needs to be a couple of elements of rotation because we did have rotation in that game. So let's get to the team who should be playing the FA Cup final. So we start off with, obviously, Kepa, who is confirmed. Kepa will be starting this game, as I've already mentioned. Thomas Tuchel mentioned that in the press conference. Now, in terms of the back three, Antonio Rudiger, who had the day off against Arsenal. I keep saying I'm not going to mention that in that game, and then I do. Rudiger is back, yeah? So for me, he just needs to start this one. But alongside him, I think it's only fair in an FA Cup final that we go to experience and we go to defenders that we know can do a job. Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, and Antonio Rudiger. Now, for me, Zuma in that game. I'm not going to mention Arsenal again. But Zuma had looked a little bit dodgy. Yeah? Looked a little bit dodgy. Same goes for Jorginho. But in terms of that back three, we've seen some good games from Zuma. We've seen some bad games. But this was the only reason for him to play the last one was because Rudiger had a day off. Simple as that. Rudiger's back now. So he needs to start this one and he needs to be solid. We need to be careful, especially in terms of Leicester City, of Iheanacho being able to cut in on that left foot and, smash a ball into the top corner. That's going to be Rudiger's responsibility to deny that from happening. So for me, this should be the back three. In terms of the wing backs, I think it's fair that we do keep the same energy. So Ben Chilwell plays against his old club. That would be my go-to. I hope he has a good game against his old teammates. He knows quite a lot of them. So, I'm hoping that that's going to give us a little advantage on that left-hand side. At right wing-back, I think it's fair that we play Reece James. He provides that good defensive stability. And I'm hoping for a good performance from him in terms of going up, not being so scared and not being so worried about taking a couple of risks. It needs to be done, especially in a final. It'll be nice if we can get ourselves an early goal. And we know that our wing-backs can be an outlet to make that happen. So for me, these are the two that we need to go to. Now, in terms of the double pivot, we've already got confirmation that N'Golo Kante is starting. I think in regards to the choice between Jorginho and Kovacic, we need to stick with Jorginho. We need to. Now, you're probably looking at that and going, but the mistake. He made a mistake. He made one mistake, right? You remember when he arrived and it was mistake after mistake after mistake. We haven't had that this season. He's had some very, very, very good games. And I think the key factor to him playing tomorrow is going to be that Kante is next to him. When those two are playing together, Thomas Tuchel's managed to find a way of them coexisting together and actually making it work. And over many games now, they've built this chemistry and they've built this understanding of exactly where they're going to be and where they're going to go when they're passing to each other. That helps to beat a press. That helps to beat any midfield that's trying to deny us from getting through, because the quick passing and the quick positioning and the understanding and increasing chemistry that these two have now has helped us in so many occasions. Especially you look at the Champions League, Real Madrid, and some of the league games, Man City, etc. It's key, I think, that these two start. Kovacic to just rush him back into a cup final. Stakes are high. Nah. We need to go with what we kind of has been working recently, despite the blip, and Kante didn't feature in that blip. So I think with Kante back, it helps Jorginho. So for me, that would be the double pivot. In terms of up the pitch now, the front three, I've made a couple of changes. I am first and foremost starting Hakim Ziyech. Yes, Hakim Ziyech starts this final. And for one key reason, actually two reasons. One is that Pulisic needs to be rested, as far as I'm concerned. The last couple of games he's played and he hasn't been fantastic. Let's have it right. But you can tell he's tired. He's just been used, and that's it. We're not really getting much of an output from him now. So I think it's only right. for my second reason, coming up against a Leicester team that can defend quite well, that we have someone with that creativity, and that is what we lacked in our last game against Arsenal. I've said it again. But Ziyech, has that, despite him being, I don't want to say absent, but there are some games where it doesn't look like he's doing much, but he can just have that moment of brilliance. If you look at that Manchester City game where he scored the equaliser, moment of brilliance. When we needed it, he was there and he delivered. He has that in him. And you want that in a final. In a final, it's about the final result. It's about the score. I don't care how we play or what we do. We're winning the game. That's all I care about. And Ziyech has the capacity to, even when he is in a difficult situation or a game where he's tightly marked or he hasn't got much space, but he can still create that little bit of space for himself. He can still get a shot on goal. He can still take that ball, try and get past the defender and cross the ball into the box. Despite him being in a difficult situation, he can still make things happen. Whether it's a shot or whether it's a cross or whether it's an assist or a through ball. It can be minimal, but it can have a huge impact. So for me, he starts this, and alongside Mason Mount. Mason Mount needs to be starting this one. Cup final. He's been, without a doubt, one of our most important players, and in such a game of a huge magnitude, he needs to play. I don't want to see him deep like he was against Arsenal, where we took off Billy Gilmore, and Mount came to support Jorginho. I don't want that. That is not how Mount plays. He's just not in a double pivot. That is just not him. He should be exactly where it says on this pitch right now, where he is just in behind the striker, in between the double pivot and the striker, and occupying that attacking midfield role. That is where he needs to be. Nice he has the support of someone, whether it's Pulisic or Ziyech or Kai Havertz or whoever. But for me, he needs to be in this role where he has the most impact, where even when we don't have the ball, he's able to provide the energy and press from the front. And I think that helps us a lot in terms of winning the ball back and creating more chances. So on top of that, I hope he can provide an assist. I hope he can even score a goal. I hope that final product and that final decision making is going to be on point for him tomorrow. That's going to be vital. Up front, Kai Havertz was the one to go to last game, and he missed a sitter. Now, that doesn't undermine what he can do. Yeah, that doesn't mean he's rubbish. He's not. Kai Havertz, in quite a few games this season, has proven exactly what he can offer and what he can do. But for the one player that actually had a rest against Arsenal, and fair play, I'm glad he did. And for the one player where I now really understand, that when he's not playing, even though he doesn't score many goals, we're still missing something. We're missing something when he's not there. He just provides that extra push, that extra amount of energy, that extra press, that extra run, that extra pass, that extra shot. Whatever it is, he provides it. And for me, it has to be Timo Werner. It has to be Timo Werner. You can just see. Again, look, I go back on what I said about me not mentioning the last game. I've said it too many times now. That Arsenal game, yeah, we missed Werner. We did. And I know, if Havertz had scored that sitter, maybe I'd be saying something different. But it's true. For many times, especially where Arsenal was just sitting back defending, I think we could have done with an extra presence. We could have done with someone that is, that is fast, that has the energy, that does move very quickly. The only thing that's wrong with Werner is scoring goals. That's it. Everything else he does is right. So you can't take that away from him. And that will help us in a cup final. That, without a doubt, will help us in a cup final. And especially against a Leicester team where Jonny Evans, for example, isn't actually sure of playing. They might have someone missing in defence. That could help us. In terms of the other players that might be missing, I know Pereira could be out and James Maddison might be out as well. So it could be a case of maybe they're going to choose to sit back a little bit. And even if they don't, it would be nice to have Werner that can use that energy to run, get in behind and cause mayhem, especially when being assisted by a Mason Mount, for example, that can, come up with him and help defend from the front. I think that is going to win us the final. Fingers crossed, but this would be the team that I think Thomas Tuchel is going to go with tomorrow. Now, in terms of a score prediction, I'm not going to get carried away. I'm not going to get carried away on this one. I did say against Arsenal that Chelsea would win comfortably, and that didn't happen. So, look, I still am confident. I think that game against Arsenal was a blip, and we have to forget it. I think we got to use it as motivation in order to create a response, a good response, a strong response. But tomorrow, a good Leicester team as they are, especially with the fans in the ground, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be a good atmosphere. Finally, fans are back in the flipping stadiums. But I am going with a Chelsea win. I'm going with Chelsea 2, Leicester 1. I'll give them a goal because Leicester do have an outlet and they've got very, very good methods of moving the ball up top and using Jamie Vardy, using Iheanacho. Their midfield are fantastic. And DD Telemans, you know, if Maddison's playing, that will help them even more. But if he's not, that will be beneficial for us. They've got a good team. They've got a very, very good team. But I think in a final, with our strongest team out, with the circumstances so high, I think Thomas Tuchel will definitely help us get that win. And I think he'll prepare and plan very well and very accordingly to deal with any threat that Leicester possess. And tactically, we should be superior tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it. Come on, Chelsea, let's win our first piece of silverware in 2 years. It's been way too long. And hopefully that will give us the confidence to finish off the season strong and go on to the Champions League final to wrap it all up. And fingers crossed, become champions of Europe again. But for now, let's win the FA Cup. Let's get that momentum going. And hopefully we can end the season on a high. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. How do you think it's all going to go down? Your team predictions, your score predictions. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Much appreciated. Don't forget to catch the watch along tomorrow. There will be an FA Cup final watch along with no technical issues. That's been resolved. So it will be from the first minute to the last minute without any interruption. Make sure you check it out there. And yeah, hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow on D-Day. Hopefully we get ourselves a trophy. I'll see you in the midst of it all. Thank you all so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care. And peace.